Have you ever realized that some of your favorite comedians come up with some really good stuff and they know how to deliver it even funnier? The reason why is because they've got to find a way to make sure that you can comprehend and process the comedy, as well as their ability to come up with more and more ideas. And how do you do that? You got to do some writing. Behind the scenes, stand-up comedians, sketch comedians, movie actors, they do a lot of writing. There's always a process to somehow train your brain to pick up on the funny and deliver it in a way that somebody else will also find funny. And that's why I'm making this video. Today we're going to be talking about why writing is one of the most important things that you can do to find the funny fast in your life. And so this video is made specifically for the kind of person that is looking to find more funny things in their lives, as well as developing a sense of humor and a way to deliver it so that you can use it in places like a conversation or on stage or even online when you create social media content. And me? Well, I'm Manny Garavito. I'm a comedy coach and I help people find the funny fast in their life and allow them to create a lifestyle out of it. And I've seen people develop many ways that they come up with some sort of writing habit in order to change the way they view the world. And in this case, to make it a lot more funnier. So let's dive into this presentation I made for you so you can get an example of how a system works in order for you to start implementing comedy writing in your everyday life. For this video, we're going to break it down into 3 separate parts. The first part is capturing ideas, then structuring ideas, and lastly, compounding ideas, capturing ideas. We all live separate lives and we all have different experiences. But how do we capture the moments that can be turned into something funny? And how do we know that particular experience can be funny? The best way to do that is to capture as many ideas as possible. And you can do this by having a notepad in your pocket, or my personal favorite is having a digital notepad on my phone and then just adding tags to it to reference to later. And unless you have a superb memory, you're most likely going to forget most, if not all, of your ideas because ideas are fleeting. They come and go. It's not even much of a concept. It's more of a feeling you get and then it's gone. And the reason why I put this part in the beginning of the video is because if you can capture ideas regularly, you're already more than halfway there. And over time, when you do make a habit of collecting ideas, you'll have a better way to filter out those that you don't really have to collect. You kind of have a better understanding of how ideas flourish into comedy and how some of them don't necessarily always have to be jotted down. However, this takes time and it is something you gain through experience. An added benefit of collecting ideas is you become more self-aware. You find yourself in more funnier situations, especially when no one else notices them, but you're the only one that does. That's a great opportunity to just see how you can think and experience life a little more differently and add a humorous lens to that. And lastly, you want to come up with a way to organize your ideas when you collect them. Essentially, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to find our sense of humor by finding the funny ideas we get while we're out in the wild. In the next part, let's talk about structuring ideas. When it comes to building and structuring comedy ideas, what you're really looking for is an angle. Where should you dig? How deep should you go? Picture it like drilling for oil. You're looking for a place to put the drill in so that you can head in that direction and go deep so that you can start finding the funny angles that are not necessarily obvious. Once you do find a funny angle, you want to be as descriptive as possible as to why that's funny to you in the first place. The bad news is it doesn't always come easily. The good news is you can take your time. So the critics are really far away. This is more just for you, and this is an alone time for you to start just brainstorming and critically thinking and just free-flowing in any way, direction, methodology you'd like to just come up with something funny out of nothing. And through habits, you'll gain the confidence to experiment a little bit more. And really the bottom line here is just being able to figure out how you structure ideas. If you make the time to write, not only does your writing get better, but your timing does also. Lastly, let's get into compounding your comedy ideas. The greatest benefit as a comedy writer, if you've collected enough ideas and structured and organized them over time, is that you've built yourself a comedy compendium. So if you've got a way to reference previous jokes in the past, you now have the ability to do things like rediscover comedy gems that you've written before that maybe you can add more material to. Maybe you can bring back a comedy idea for a new bit you're working on. Maybe you can improvise and come up with it on the spot because of something you've written years ago. And that's how wit, charm, charisma, material, that's where it all comes from. Your brain is now wired to gather ideas, structure ideas, and present ideas. So the truth is, writing comedy only works if you make it a habit. But here's the tricky part. Everyone has different habits, and it's easier to know what to do than it is to actually do it. So what's the solution? Somebody that holds you accountable. Somebody that reviews what you've collected and what you've been structuring, and that makes sure that you have something to review in the first place. And also somebody that guides you into making sure that whatever it is that you have in your comedy writings is authentically and genuinely and undoubtedly you. And that's where I come in. As your comedy coach, I help you figure out your way of building the comedy writing habit. There's no one-size-fits-all system when it comes to creativity, but there is one that fits you. So if this sounds like something that resonates with you and you're ready to build a comedy writing habit that fits your lifestyle, you can reach out to me. Send me an email, manny@mannygaravito.com, or visit my website, mannygaravito.com, to see if comedy coaching feels right for you. All right, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my YouTube channel. I have some other videos on there that'll help you find your sense of humor a lot more quickly so that you can do whatever you'd like with it, whether it be social media content, engaging in conversation, helping your dating life, or just presenting in a lot more humorous way. Also, make sure that you subscribe, like this video, help me out. Let the people know I exist. All right? See you on the next one. Bye.